I think artificial intelligence is going to change real estate marketing dramatically. Actually, let me rephrase that. It already is. Whether you're using ChatGPT, Canva AI, Gemini, Opus, AI photo editing tools, AI video tools, AI writing tools, or any of the dozens of new platforms that seem to launch every week, the industry is changing right in front of us. And honestly, I think that's exciting. I use AI, my team uses AI, it saves time, it helps generate ideas, it helps organize information, it helps streamline workflows. I don't think AI is going away, and I don't think real estate professionals should ignore it, but I do think agents should be very careful about how they use it. Because lately, I'm starting to notice something. A lot of marketing is beginning to feel less authentic, less human, less real. And that's a problem. I'm seeing listing photos that are so heavily edited, they barely resemble the actual property. I'm seeing sky replacements that look like they're straight out of a science fiction movie. I'm seeing AI generated furniture that doesn't fit the room. AI generated staging that would never physically work. Videos that feel more like fantasy than reality. Marketing that gets attention but doesn't necessarily build trust. And that's the distinction I think people need to understand. Attention and trust are not the same thing. In fact, they're often completely different things. You can absolutely create content that gets attention. You can create content that gets views. You can create content that gets clicked. But if people don't trust you afterward, what did you really accomplish? Because real estate is still a relationship business. At its core, that's what this industry has always been. People aren't hiring you because you had the coolest drone shot. They're not hiring you because your reel got 50,000 views. They're not hiring you because ChatGPT helped write a clever caption. They're hiring someone they feel comfortable trusting with one of the largest financial decisions of their life. Think about that for a second. When someone hires a realtor, they're not just hiring marketing. They're hiring guidance, they're hiring advice, they're hiring negotiation, they're hiring experience. And most importantly, they're hiring a person. A real person, someone they feel like they know, someone they feel understands them, someone they believe will look out for their best interests. And I think that's where some people are getting AI wrong. They're using it to create a version of themselves instead of amplifying who they already are. They're trying to sound smarter, more polished, more perfect, more professional, and in the process, they're accidentally removing the very thing that makes them different. Their personality, their stories, their quirks, their perspective, the things that actually make people connect with them. Because here's a reality that AI can't replicate. Nobody else has lived your life. Nobody else has your experiences. Nobody else has your sense of humor. Nobody else has your local market knowledge. Nobody else has had the conversations you've had with buyers and sellers over the years. That's the stuff people connect with. Not perfection, authenticity. And I actually think we're heading towards an interesting shift. For the last few years, AI generated content has felt new and impressive. But eventually, everyone will have access to the same tools. Everyone will be able to generate polished graphics. Everyone will be able to create captions. Everyone will be able to generate videos. Everyone will have access to the same technology. And when everyone can create polished content, authenticity becomes the differentiator. Being real becomes the differentiator. Being human becomes the differentiator. In a strange way, I think AI may actually make authenticity more valuable. Because as people become surrounded by more artificial content, they're going to crave real people even more. They're going to want genuine opinions, real experiences, honest recommendations, actual expertise. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the industry eventually starts tightening regulations around some of this anyway. Because buyers don't want to feel misled. They don't want photos that create unrealistic expectations. They don't want to show up at a property and feel disappointed because the marketing wasn't an accurate representation of reality. Trust matters. And once trust is lost, it's incredibly difficult to get back. So here's my take on AI. Use it. Absolutely use it. Use it for brainstorming. Use it for organization. Use it for content ideas. Use it to automate repetitive tasks. Use it to save time. Use it to become more efficient. But don't let it replace your voice. Don't let it replace your personality. Don't let it replace the human side of your business, because the agents who win over the next decade won't necessarily be the ones who use the most AI. They'll be the ones who use AI while still feeling authentic. The ones who combine technology with trust. The ones who use AI as a tool rather than a mask. And if you're worried about standing out in a world where everyone has access to the same technology, remember this: you don't need to become someone different. You don't need to create a fake version of yourself. You don't need a viral video. You don't need to sound like everyone else. You already have something AI can never duplicate: your personality, your experience, your perspective, your story. And at the end of the day, people don't choose realtors because of algorithms. They choose realtors because of relationships. People want to work with people they know, people they like, and most importantly, people they trust.